Hello?
Hala.
Hello world, welcome to Fan Entertainment, the show where fans share their views on sports, pop culture, and everything in between. I'm FB, and as always, we're changing and looking for new ways to make the show better. I got a lot of positive feedback that you guys like the kidnapping episode. I hope that's not because
That's kind of weird.
I know, right? I hope it's because you got to listen to more intimate interaction with the guests, and not simply because it was a horror story. Because God knows that I don't have like a bunch of kidnapped people on my Rolodex to call up and, and share kidnapping stories. So yeah, and that was not supposed to be the focus of the show, but I think it's because people get to hear other people share stuff about their life experiences, which may be something that they could relate to. And certainly I know it was interesting listening to Dibe's story. It was traumatic. And I think I personally enjoy just kind of like learning more from him and how he went through that experience and what he learned and all that stuff. So I want to do more of those things. Now, that doesn't mean that that's the end of banter and all the outlandishness, and craziness that we typically have on this show. As a matter of fact, the only reason why we have another Real Talk segment is because the episode that I recorded with Nubian and K-Boy got corrupted, if you will. There was an issue with the software. So luckily, I got a guest to come in last minute, and I actually had this planned already, so it kind of worked out. And he's becoming somewhat of a recurring guest, so I'm happy about that. This is like what, number 3?
This is number three. My third time on the podcast.
Nice, I like that.
Tell Nubian I'm coming for a spot. I'm becoming a regular.
You know. But yeah, we're gonna take the opportunity to learn more. I mean, normally when you're on, we talk football and get you to battle some people. But this time we're going to learn more about you. So welcome back to the show, Peedi, aka Peedi Picasso, aka P Diddy, aka Aristokrat Karate. I don't know, I'm just making up stuff right there. So the last few.
Hey man, that's cool. Anything goes these days.
Hey, actually, based on that, what other aliases do you have that people may not know about, or some that some people try to throw out there that never stuck?
Man, I used to be Papa P.
Oh, for real?
In school, in uni. I used to be Papa P. I've been Papa Smurf.
Papa Smurf.
Yeah.
Why Papa Smurf?
That stuck for a while. Because I think I always had that. The Papa thing was I always had that leader, father type of role.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I was in school, I think that's where that came from, and it went from Papa P to Papa Smurf. I think especially because I was the pot belly and the beard, and I was short, so I kind of could pass over Smurf. I'm just not blue.
That was all that was missing.
Yeah.
So if you don't know,
maybe the red hat too.
Yeah, exactly. Well, actually, that's an idea for Halloween. Hey.
Hey man, that's true. I'll try one of these days.
So if you don't know, Peedi is the CEO of Aristokrat Entertainment, Sona Studios, co-founder of MyDeskRadio.com. You're a busy man. You've created or been a part of the process of creating quite a number of companies and businesses and stuff. What do you get the most joy out of, or what do you get more joy out of? Do you get more joy out of the C title and being able to say, yeah, I own that, or are you more excited about the creative process?
I think, to be honest, it's more about the creative process. That's always been like I usually have a bunch of ideas all at the same time, and it's just kind of like trying to bring them to life, and that the process of actually bringing these ideas to life. And once you've actually been able to succeed in bringing one to life, then it's just you can go into overdrive a bit and just like want to create more, want to do more. And that's really what kind of drives me. Just this sense of kind of doing a bit more every time, or doing something new, or taking on a new challenge and everything.
Do you ever get like I don't know, maybe like for lack of a better term, like superhero complex, where you create this and create that, and all of a sudden you feel like you can create like 20 things at once? And like, how do you juggle those things? Because I imagine that your brain is probably constantly working, and like, okay, I can do this.
I think so. Like, I think that it's hard not to, if you've created something from nothing, from your imagination, and especially with people looking at you like you're crazy, and then you actually succeed in doing that, and try to do something again, and you succeed in doing that. At a point, there becomes like no limit to you, or no boundary you feel like you can't really surpass or whatever. So I don't know if I'm like a superhero complex, but sometimes I really feel like if I really put my mind to it, I can get it done. It's just about putting my mind to getting me to put my mind into things that is sometimes that might even be the hard part.
That makes sense. I mean, yeah, like once you've done it before, so it's not you. I guess a lot of people feel like, man, I can't do this, but once you've actually done it, then it's like, okay, yeah, I think nothing can really stop me from doing this. Which one of the companies or businesses you created are you the most proud of? Whether it's something that we know of or something that's like you've been a part of that people may not know about.
That's what am I most proud of? Wow. I'm yet to succeed at that yet. I think the Arena, which is basically like the parent company of Midas Radio, and Aristokrat TV, and we have a lot of other plans for that. I feel like that would be when accomplished. I guess that would be one of the things. Like, I feel like if I do that, I can just kick back and say, yeah, I've done something. I think with the record label, that's what I'm mostly known for, popular for. But I don't say I'm not proud of it, but I guess I've either been there, done that. My mind is I guess on the next one right now. But I guess out of everything I've accomplished so far, maybe the label has been if not the one coming, it'll be the label out of everything else. Can
you speak on what exactly Arena is? You mentioned that the podcast is under Arena, or Midas Radio is under Arena. What?
Yeah, as you said, the Aristokrat Entertainment.
Okay.
The Aristokrat Entertainment Network. It's basically like a multiple. It's a digital media network. So podcast, digital TV, digital magazines, just different platforms, different digital media platforms that all form this network of digital. Those form all the digital media network. So I think so far we have Aristokrat TV and Midas Radio up and running. We're hoping to launch sort of like a digital magazine called playafrica.com this year, and then we have some other plans going forward and everything. And that I feel like digital media, digital TV, radio is the future, and I like to invest in long-term future projects and try to be a front runner or early player in those fields. And especially in the Africa, it's kind of still big out here in the West, but in Africa it's still a very, very new field. So that's one of my challenges.
And how do you deal with that? Because I assume I think like in more of a Western world, it's the infrastructure and the culture is more familiar with basically interaction with the cloud, dealing with digital products, and I assume like Africa, or let's say specifically Nigeria, is not exactly at that point yet. Is it kind of like how do you like navigate that? Is there frustration in that situation? Are you like, okay, at the end of the day, we're just laying the groundwork and we will be ready when everybody else is ready? Or, are there other things, other frustrations in kind of setting things up that people may not even know about?
Yeah, I think like especially with, like, if we look at the podcast situation or podcast space, podcasting is something that has pretty much picked up in America and elsewhere.
Yeah.
In Nigeria, even though I feel like we know that it's going to be something that will pick up in Nigeria, just because of issues like internet penetration, people not having access to the right internet, or people not even understanding what podcast is, or podcasts are. We have to kind of do a lot of sensitization and teach people and talk to people and always explain to people what a podcast is. But for me, again, it's like, getting in the door first, laying the foundation, and then when it's ready, we know that we're in that space, and we've been in that space, and we've learned, and we've made the mistakes that we need to make and whatnot. So not when it's hot. Nigeria likes to have a bandwagon mentality and wait for things to get hot, and everybody jumps on it and puts money in it and whatever. So, but I think the lessons that we're learning now will kind of allow us to be able to be a major player when the market is ready for all the digital media platforms and everything. And it might not be as long as we say, like 2 to 3 years. That might be off by maybe a year plus, or but we know that I think it's a good time to kind of get in. Like a lot of people have been in the space for, like, someone like Roku TV. They've been there for like over 6 years, and consecutively 6 years run at a loss. And they've built a brand name, and they've built a following, and built subscribers and all that. And eventually, when it picks up, if that's the on-demand platforms pick up for them, they would be the front runner in that space.
That makes sense. Is there, so you've kind of like spoken about the stuff that you're currently doing, and I guess where your vision and your headspace is right now, and where you feel like you're poised and positioned for success. Let's kind of flip it a little bit and maybe hear some interesting stories here. So are there any businesses out there that you've been associated with that you're probably a little embarrassed about, that people may not know about? Maybe people may even know about, maybe like a porn venture or Aristokrat Gary, or I don't know, maybe like some sort of prostitution subscription service. I don't know. Like, is there anything out there you're embarrassed about?
Embarrassed, not necessarily, but there's things that we've tried. The things that we've tried that were really crappy. And there's a thing where, like, for me, I don't mind coming out and being sort of crappy, because I know that there's still time to learn and get better, because all the things that we're involved in are still we're still kind of ahead of the curve. So those little crappy moments are like learning moments for us. But there's some things that when we've tried to do them, they are just like totally like shit horrible. It's like, wait, we need to maybe take a few steps back and make sure we know we want to do this. And
anything you can share? Is there any specific example you can give or something? I
would say no, because I'm not thinking about it like that. I was going to say Aristokrat Vision.
Yeah.
Aristokrat Vision is supposed to be like our TV production, film production arm per se of the whole Aristokrat group, and we shot a couple videos in 20. We actually had produced one video ourselves back in the Burner Boy days tonight. So we got a director, we did more of the got a director, got a producer, got everything, put the video together, and that's when we kind of launched the Aristokrat Vision thing. So at the end of that tonight video, you see Aristokrat Vision production. So we did that, and then we wanted to now go fully into that as a business on its own. This was like about, I think it was late 2014, late 20, 20 or early 2015. We then decided to shoot. We partnered with some people, decided to shoot a couple videos off of. It was late 2014. Off of 2 mixtapes that we dropped from Ozone and Mojid. And I wasn't too happy with the quality of what we were able to produce then. It wasn't as easy as the Burna Boy one. Partially because we had a shit partner at that time. And it just didn't come out really great. But it's something that we've gone back to the drawing board, and I wish I could erase those videos online.
So it's not like the process, not like the company itself was an embarrassment. It's more like the quality of the product. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's one. Maybe there's some artists that we've represented in the past, because we also have let me say how bad it is, how bad it became. We had a talent agency called Monarch Talent Agency, and I wanted to sign a guy if somebody came to me, a guy came to me for me to sign him as under management and everything. And I was like, okay, yeah, we'll give you a deal under Monarch and everything. He was like, no, I don't want that. And I was like, why? Because he was like, you don't care about people on Monarch. I want to be on an Aristokrat. That Monarch is where you put people you don't care about. I was like, oh wow. And so
dude is like, I don't see Burna Boy on Monarch. I don't see
on Monarch. So he was like, nope, I don't want to be there. It is that place. I don't want to be there. So, and that's because we've in the past signed some questionable talent to that brand, and it didn't come out too well. So those are maybe the 2 things. But it's not necessarily the companies also, but the products or the outcome of whatever we produce.
That's interesting, man. The second one is really interesting in that it's kind of like was really not your intention, but it's almost like, okay, seeing that you actually have a record label, and then it made so much sense where you're like, okay, I want to create this whole Monarch agency thing where I can actually represent artists. And then, but the artists are looking at you like, hey, I want to be on your personal project, not this. So Monarch was birthed from that concept where we were like, there were 2 things. There were no booking agency. Like if you wanted to do a birthday party and you are not in the entertainment industry, you couldn't find a place where you could just call somebody and say, you know what, I'm trying to book an artist. I'm trying to book a piano player, or just so kind of representing different sort of talents in whatever field that you can now offer them set up like a booking agency and then manage the talent. And because when they book them, the plan was to be able to take the artist, prepare the talent, if it was a host and everything, for you're being booked for this wedding, this is the dress code, this is whatever. So we started with that concept and then evolved into like a full-fledged talent management company and whatnot. And we didn't, and at that time, everything we had done was Aristokrat. And I was just like, let me do something a bit different. Yeah.
And then, so we called it Monarch Talents. We've actually, that's another project we shut down, and we're now trying to restructure and restart. Same with the Aristokrat Vision. So the things like those projects, when we try our hands at them, we know there's a need for them. We know there's a market out there, but maybe when we put it out and the product is not great, or the quality especially is not great, we just take a back seat and just like, you know what, we're going to rethink this and re-strategize about doing these things. Not like we're never going to do them again, just it has to be right. So maybe I think we're going to probably call it like Aristokrat Talent, so people would not tell us that they don't want to be on that again.
Like they won't be seeing it like Aristocrat is Lexus and Monarch is Toyota.
Yeah, like you want to come in. No, I don't want to drive that. I don't want to enter that car, please.
All right, so this podcast, or everybody, I mean, those who listen to this podcast know that it's predominantly sports. Most of the stuff we talk about, I mean, we discuss pretty much everything, but it's usually through the sports lens, and we discuss sports more than anything else.
Yep.
You're an Arsenal fan, so I thought I'd do something a little fun.
Yes, I'm off the fan bus this season, but
well, we're going to get
still,
into that too. But I thought I thought that I'll do something fun and talk about some key moments in Arsenal recent history, and you tell
okay.
us where you were and what you were doing in that time. What do you remember the most in that period? What phase in life were you at that time? I guess the best place to start would be to start from the very beginning. Well, I guess not necessarily the beginning of Arsenal, but then the beginning of the dynasty, with the appointment of Arsene Wenger as manager of Arsenal. And that was in September 1996. What were you up to then? Were you even an Arsenal fan by that time?
Actually, so I think I became an Arsenal fan in '95.
Okay.
It was after the World Cup. I don't know why I liked the Denmark, Holland team, it's Denmark, Holland, and what's his name, Bergkamp and all that. And also, I think that in that '95 season, there was actually, I used to watch the goal of the week thing, and there was a guy, Tony Yeboah, for playing for Leeds. But for a brief moment, I was a Leeds fan.
Okay, that's
and
interesting.
He used to score these spectacular goals. The Ghanaian guy just be doing all sorts of fancy goals and whatever. But I think that same season, Ian Wright was the highest goal scorer. Played for Arsenal.
Yeah.
Then Bergkamp joined. This is '95. Then Bergkamp joined, I think, '95-'96 season. Wenger wasn't the coach then. I think it was the next season that Wenger became the coach. And it was still Bergkamp and Ian Wright was still doing his scoring. I don't think they had won. They were like maybe third and fifth, or just competing. Then Wenger came in. Then I think it was from around '97, '98, '99. I think the Vieira them joined. Then I think when I became like a full hardcore Arsenal fan was Henry and Kanu Nwankwo joining Arsenal. So I think that '96. But that was a bit later than that. Was in '96. September '96. Where was I? I was in Port Harcourt. I was in JS2 Federal Government College, Port Harcourt. What was going on in my life in '96? I'm not really.
Did you even know what you wanted to become by then? Did you have a vision of, I think I'm going to go into entertainment, or are you just like...
No, but the funny thing was, I've been always like a huge music fan from Diddy and whatever. Like when I now look back at that '95, '96, '97. My first 2 years in secondary school, I was like, I can see that I can now see how I ended up doing what I was doing, because like back then I was really, really interested in all these things, but I was really good at math, so I was always in doing further math and whatever, like advanced math
science
and whatnot.
student.
My dad was always higher science student type thing, even though I think I was more SS1, but I was always like common entrance and whatever thing. I'm always taking extra math classes and trying to be advanced in all the math thing. My dad thought I was going to be an engineer. They used to call me doctor too. So at that time too, so he thought I was going to be a doctor or engineer. But I think I didn't even know my passions were around. I started throwing parties in JS2, JS3. I think one of the first parties we threw was at one of our friends' houses. We all put money together and threw that's about maybe like a couple months from like early '97. Actually, put money together to throw a party at a friend's house and all that. And I was just all about being in the social scene and making friends and everything and whatnot. So I wasn't really doing much with myself then. I think I was still very, very just going through life as
Yeah.
This is life.
You were just
I'm
a
in secondary
teenager by
school.
then. Yeah. It's like.
Yeah,
But did you
just
feel
using
like you
just
like looking back on it? Do you feel because at that age, right? Everyone, like every kid or most kids love music, but though it is true though that there are clearly those that are more fanatical about music than others who are really deep into it and really like deconstructing and passionate about music. Could you
one of
tell
yeah,
then where
I
you
was
are that on like you are that on that spectrum versus other people?
yeah, because like one of the reasons like it being like my partner at Midas Radio,
Mm.
one of the reasons we were friends is because I knew how to rap Gangsta's Paradise by Coolio. I think yeah, it was just like it's just those kind of things where he was like, I don't know why he found that exciting or cool,
Yeah.
but it was that kind of. He was also like a very into music and all those kind of things too. But I was about like I would know the Snoop, all the gist, all the entertainment news and all that. I would be on it like channel O or was it Bob at that time? I'm not really sure what station was on them, but I was on or I was in deep in the music thing and everything, especially the hip hop music. That was like my thing. Hip hop music, some. I also like TLC a lot. I don't know why.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I used to like TLC.
Was there a
lot.
particular character? What was a character or group member?
I think Left Eye.
Oh yeah.
I
Okay.
think Left Eye.
Yeah,
Yeah,
kind of
I
like with
think I
that
was
whole
a big
hip hop
fan.
vibe. Okay, she's the rapper.
Yeah, I think I'd like the maybe that was it. Yeah, that was probably it. So left. Then of course Diddy and Biggie and Mace and all of them as they came up and everything was that was my thing. I think my even like getting into Nigerian music was more of like late 90s, like into like 98, 99. A cousin gave me a Tribesman tape.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, these guys are Nigerian and they're rapping like the American guys.
Yeah.
And they sounded cool. So Tribesmen and Plantation Boys were my no, actually Remedies was my intro to Nigerian music. But where I really found out was Tribesmen, Plantation Boys. Yeah, because they had more like Western sound. Even though Remedies were trying to be Western, but not quite.
Yeah, I can't say I really got into like Remedies or Plantation Boys, but I really liked Tribesmen. Kind of similar journey too. When I got a hold of Tribesmen's album, I was like, damn, these guys are nice, and they're Niger. Are you serious? By the way, speaking of TLC, I'm yet to meet someone that most people used to crush on Left Eye or Chili. I need to find like a T-Boz guy, like a guy who was like, man, T-Boz was my chick.
I don't know if there's anybody like that, but yeah, I think Chili was the most popular one for guys, and Left Eye. Then I don't think anybody really. Even though she wasn't like the lead in the group.
She was.
I don't know. That's really. She was supposed to be the Beyonce, but didn't really work out like that, I guess, back then. But yeah, that was. I think that was where I'll just say that was my still just discovering myself. 96, late 96, going to 97, still discovering myself and getting into like figuring out what I wanted to do.
Okay, so let's fast forward, right? So then
I think Arsenal was in the same phase at that time. They were just still getting their act together.
That's true. The new era, trying to figure themselves out. Got a new manager who was going to give them direction. Yeah, that's it. That's actually a very good point. So fast forward to a time when Arsenal seemed to have figured themselves out. They had an identity and they went on to become the Invincibles. 2003 to 2004, Arsenal go on this unbeaten streak and have an entire season where they're unbeaten. No team has done that ever, at least up till now. Where were you then? How closely were you following that campaign? How did you feel about that campaign? And what were you up to in your personal life at that time?
So I was disconnected from that campaign because I fell off the soccer bandwagon when I moved to Oklahoma, and the timing of the games and all that and everything, and just getting school and readjusting. So I'd moved to America, of course, catching up with games and everything. Because I could really, I think, just find out the scores. This thing I knew about the invisible run. I think I had to kind of catch up towards the end to see when everybody was waiting to see if we were going to break the record and everything. So that was why I really followed Arsenal in that period. But at that time, I think for me, 2003, I was in my second year of uni. I actually had started Aristokrat by then.
Oh, wow.
Enough. Yeah, the first person again that I mentioned Aristokrat to, which was like in 2001, 2002 was ABA.
I really had no idea you guys were that close. Like you guys have been tight since pretty much were kids.
Yeah, we've been tight since we're kids, since secondary school. Like we've been really, really close.
Yeah.
We've drifted apart when he moved to Russia.
Yeah.
I moved to America, but he's one of those friends where if we meet today, if I speak to today, it's just like we just pick up from yesterday, or whatever, wherever we left off and everything. So yeah, we've been really, really, really close since then. So I had my first year in America. I got there 2002. I think everybody else, my sister and my brother, went back. I got there in December. My sister and my brother went back I got there in August. My sister and brother went back in December for a funeral. And I was like, I didn't want to go back because I just came in August. So I was stuck in Oklahoma in December 2002 by myself. Cold, freezing.
Wow.
Didn't have a license, so I couldn't drive. So I was indoors a lot. I was watching a lot of TV, just trying to. I think that was that first year. In my mind, always I thought I was there as an engineering student. I thought I was going to go be an engineer, finish doing engineering, work a couple years, save up a couple, make it like 100,000 a year. Now the amount in my head. Then and then work for a couple years and then go back to Nigeria and get involved in politics.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, that was the plan.
Yeah.
But I think getting there, I'm still trying to connect to find out what's going on in Nigeria, and the politics, especially in River State, had started going a bit left and violent.
You were like, oh, you guys are doing guns now? Okay.
Yeah, so it's like people are getting killed.
Yeah.
And everything, and it just wasn't really as appealing and as interesting as it was when I was still in Port Harcourt. So I lost a lot of interest in the political space and whatnot. I was still saying, okay, engineering, I'll do this and whatever. I was trying to kind of figure out what I would do, but 90% of my time was spent watching VH1 and reading up about the music industry and whatnot and that and whatever. And I decided, you know what, this entertainment thing seems like where it was, and I'll see the red carpet, the whatever. I'm like, Nigeria is so far behind in this place, in this industry, that I think that would be a great place to make a mark. Come in and try and help them come forward, like seeing whatever. So I became extremely obsessed in the entertainment business. Would read, send people messages, ask questions, random people. Like I would even, there's one point in time I would send this guy Obi Asika the Facebook message, message this person, just be questioning, talking to people that I knew that were in the business and whatever, and just doing this research. And I had a book and I started writing down everything I wanted to do in the entertainment business. And then I was looking for a name. I was like, yeah, everything's going to be Aristokrat. So the idea for that kind of came in that 2002, going into 2003. In 2003, I think I started working, actually going working with artists, started producing music. I used to produce. I used to write. So I teamed up with the twin brothers, Taiwo and Kende. Taiwo was a rapper. Kende was a producer. So me and Kende would produce the music together. I would play this thing. Kende would play the drums, and I started kind of managing I was the kind of manager of the trio. So me, Kaide, and this thing, we booked our first studio session. I think
so was it just so Taiwo was the artist? Like was he the only one? Was it like he was the guy and you guys were kind of just the production company behind his music? Like kind of like whatever his stage name was, it was what he was being pushed out into world as, or was it like a group that, like how NERD is, I guess, except for, assuming Pharrell wasn't making
it was like that. So he was the artist and we were the producers.
Okay.
And then I took the role of like manager, per se. And then that's 2003 September was when I transferred to University of Oklahoma. That's where we met. That's where we started working on music. Me and Ty were taking a computer science class together and everything. So that's how we connected. Met his brother. Met a lot of new people. So we just started working on music. The first song that we recorded was a song called "You Get the Clapping." I think. Yeah.
What's that about? Is that like the stripper song, or is that like a "I'm about to do something" song?
It's about like when you step out of the line, you get the clapping type, type thing or whatever. So that was the first song that we recorded, and then it was just a bunch of us, just friends in uni and all that, getting together. I got involved with the African Students Association on campus, but more in the putting together like the events. I think I worked with them on the African Queen pageant, doing like technical support and everything, and putting things together. Everything I just wanted to like anything that had to do with like entertainment or putting a show together, or just that had to do with that. I started just getting involved in that. So yeah, that was my 2003. So again, it's kind of like I wasn't an invincible run, but it was a coming of age and discovering myself per se. What I wanted to do.
Papa Smurf was born then, basically.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Did you? I guess I'm just curious about this point. I'm wondering what kind of music software we're using then, because I assume do you play an instrument, or was it really just your interest in music? You found software that allowed you transition to like Fruity Loops. There you go. All right.
I was on Fruity Loops. Never played an instrument. I think when I was younger, my mom at one time had her take piano classes or something. Somebody came and said that they wanted to come and teach us how to play the piano, and I know how to play the national anthem, Nigerian national anthem. That's about it. That's all I picked from that. But it was just more of figuring out like what I wanted the sound to be like. I was good with melodies. I was good at coming up with melodies, but when it came to the drumming, I was really, really crap.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was terrible. Like I would put a crazy melody or whatever, but to put the drums to it would just be very, very weak. But Kende was the drummer.
I see.
So I would take the beat, I would take it to him, and he would now add the drums to it and everything. And now I was like, man, this was fire at that time. But after a while, I then learned I got sampled drum kits, and I would use the drum kits and then play over the drum kits and stuff like that. So it was self-taught and whatnot. And I produced for a while. But then I had a friend too in Philly that he moved to America from Port Harcourt, and we'll talk about music and everything, and he wanted to also produce, and he picked up Fruity Loops, and he would just produce like beats 10 times better than me. I was the one teaching him how to use Fruity Loops, and I was like, wait, what's going on here? And he did that, and after a while, I was still producing, I was still writing, I'll produce songs, I'll have ideas for the songs, I'll write, met Kayode with my partner now. We then formed, I gave him, I actually wanted to manage him. I gave him a contract.
Let me guess, Kayode is a rapper.
Yeah, Kayode was a rapper, exactly. I gave him a contract for Aristokrat to sign to like the management, whatever. And he was like, okay, no problem, I'll sign. He never signed the contract. And till today, I always tell him I never signed my contract. Because I put work into that contract. I had the cover page and everything.
Yeah. He was like, nope.
Yeah. No, but he came and was like, and he would come and I would make beats and he would rap and whatever, and with this thing, then I think he then said Aristokrat Records. I was just like, yeah, let's go with that. Let's run that. And that was like where it started from again. That's where the Aristokrat Records itself started from and whatever, because I was just like, oh man, I didn't even tell this guy I wanted to do that, but he just came up with that. So whoa, that's dope. This is my artist, contract or no contract. So we did that, and then my friend in Philly would be sending fire beats, better than my beats and everything, and I'm just like, what the hell am I doing here? And one of his friends joined. I think along the way, I think my system crashed, and I put it in my trunk. I'll be going to work, and it will be there. I was supposed to drop it off for them to fix it. And one day I had an accident, a car accident. Car got totaled. The system was gone.
Wow.
So during that process of like my recovery and all of that, when it came back, I think I had like about 200 beats and a bunch of ideas for songs I'd written down or whatever. That kind of just discouraged me. But I sat down and I was like, you know what? Just to be honest with myself, I'm not really that great of a producer. You know, I'm all right. I'm decent, but my skill and my talent seem to be more in just putting it together, the management, the finding the artist and all of that and everything. So I was just like, no, I'm going to actually focus on being the manager and CEO. And then got producers to produce.
Did you sign that guy? Your guy in Philly?
No, I didn't actually. I didn't sign him. We got another producer from a guy called Doug Normite in Dallas. But Bernard was also send us some beats and everything.
Was that bad belly? Was that bad belly with the guy in Philly? Like, man, I ain't gonna sign this guy. he's outshining me on the beats. Yeah. Or the guy just wasn't looking to get signed. No.
The funny thing about it was like, I don't think he never really took. That's again another annoying thing. He never really took the music thing as serious as I did. Nobody, none of them actually. Kayode included. Kayode, all the guys that were working with me. Maybe the closest that there's a guy that was a singer, Tunde, that might have been as passionate. Me and Tunde got into an argument once and almost a fight because he refused to go to the studio to record his songs. And I was the one that was extremely passionate about the whole thing. I would get into arguments with them about just like I'll be trying to explain to them what I'm trying to do, and they're just like guys in college are just trying to have fun with the music and everything. But I was like me, I was already having contracts. I was already in the. For me, this is the business. I'm in it. You know, I'm not.
This is not a game.
It was not a game for me. It was what I wanted to do. I was really, really upset. I think by like a couple of years later, 2007, they quit. Everybody quit. Like everybody was just like, you know what, man, I'm going to go and have my master's to go and do, or whatever it was at that point in time. And I was like, no, I'm not quitting. I was like, yo, even if I have to be the artist myself, this is what I'm supposed to do, and I'm going to do it. I actually wrote an entire mixtape that summer.
Oh, for real? Like
wrote it.
You are going to rap and stuff, or?
I was going to rap and stuff. I was just like, you know what, forget these guys.
Yeah, I'm going to do this solo.
I'm going to do this solo. You guys don't understand what's going on. And at that time, the music thing was picking up in Nigeria, and I'm like trying to point to them and say, look, at what is happening.
Yeah.
Look at what is coming. Look at what is this thing. And everybody's just like, I beg this thing and whatever. But Taiwo, I think Taiwo was a rapper, and he was when I was doing work on the mixtape, he would come and work on music with me. But it wasn't. I don't think he took it that serious.
Yeah.
Once guy did quit, and Tunde was just doing his own thing. Everybody just kind of just went ahead with life, and I was just like, all right, cool. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it myself. I'm gonna keep on rapping if I have to. I'm just gonna do this my own way, because I was really, really confident. I really believed in what I wanted to do, or what was going to come from the industry per se.
Were you nice? Were you nice? Nice on the mic? Were you nice as a rapper, or were you like?
Nah. I can't lie to myself. I was okay.
Yeah.
I was okay. I always say that I'm the guy you want in the room that will tell you your bars.
Give you ideas.
I'll give you ideas. I'll give you whatever. But
give you give you like nice 4 bars, and then
nice 4 bars. I was just like, I'll tell you, just say that there, or whatever. I'll do my Diddy thing, but it wasn't me on the mic. No, I wasn't the one. I wasn't the one for that. So I think that's like that. That was that period. That's from 2003 down to about that. I was like, I gave you like a 4-year period.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm not surprised Kaide is a rapper. He looks like and sounds like a guy who's got like a good 16 on him.
Kaide is Drake. He was Drake before Drake.
Oh, for real?
But yeah, he was doing the rap singing thing, and he would do a rap song, and he would go and all of a sudden become LL Cool J and do the ladies man and sing and whatever and all that. So when Drake came out, it was, and that's one thing I always liked, like somebody that could rap and sing.
Yeah.
So that's what one of the things that sold me on Burna when I met him the first time. He was actually a rapper, but he could sing, and I was like, man, I just met this guy that was like Drake. So yeah, so that was so Kaide was like kind of like a inspiration. What I liked about Kaide as an artist back then was what I kind of saw in Burna when I met him.
That's interesting. I guess that's kind of cool. So you kind of had that early vision then that hybrid is where you wanted to go. I guess, great that you actually worked out, say, like 4 years period where kind of the beginning and somewhat of the, let's not say the end, but the hibernation of Aristokrat. Then you moved back to Nigeria in like 2009. What was the motivation behind that move? It kind of coincided with the demise of Arsenal, actually, if you think about it. What was that transition like for you? And did you have a vision for how you wanted things to be, and then it ended up being different? Like, what was that like?
I did have like a different idea when I was even moving back. So I was after like 2008, got done with school. I started working at Dell early 2009. I was doing like client premium support or something. And my mind was like, what, I'm going to actually do this music thing for real now. Now I have a job, I'll take money, keep money aside, invest in it and whatnot, and do this thing out here and whatnot. But that 9-to-5 life was draining. It was like I would wake up at 6 a.m., drive to the office, and by the time I got back, my entire day was gone. So the dream of like being able to work and make money now you're done with school and do your fund your passion wasn't just happening. I visited Nigeria before I actually started work for the first time in 8 years. So maybe 6 or 8 years. I moved to America in 2008, 2006 years. First time in 6 years. I never came back to Nigeria in 6 years.
Wow.
The first time in 6 years, December 2008, came to Nigeria, got deceived by the December crowd and the life in December.
So that like a note to people: don't get deceived. What you see in December is not representative of what Nigeria is really like.
Exactly. Please do not. If you want to decide to come back to Nigeria, come and visit us maybe in like February or something. Like February, like May, those times when like it's real, when Nigeria is Nigeria, where there's not everything is all happy and joyous and there's life and everybody's all excited and things are going on. So I came back, I visited in that December, and I visited Lagos. So there was so much activity in Lagos, club hopping, I'm moving around. I'm seeing like Range Rovers after Range Rovers.
Whoa.
Now I've been in Oklahoma for like 6 years, and seeing a Range Rover at that point in time was a big deal.
Yeah.
Because it's the football players and the stars that are driving the Range Rovers and the Bentleys.
Yeah.
But get to Lagos and it's like Range Rover, Bentley, Range Rover, and I'm just like, what is going on in this country? And seeing that. And we're going for, like, we went club hopping, because that's what they do in Lagos. You know, this club, or this wedding, then this club. And I'm like, wow, this is like LA or Vegas. I'm like, is this really Nigeria and whatnot? And Kaide just seems so like, yeah, this is what we do. I'm like, really?
Okay, so Kaide had moved back by then.
No, Kaide he grew up in Lagos, so he was there. And he would go back. He used to go back more. He'd go back every Christmas or every other Christmas. Okay. So it was a regular thing for him, that Christmas in Lagos life and whatever. So I'm like, man, this is a different. This is not Oklahoma. This is far from being Oklahoma. So I got excited. Saw the radio, TV, what was going on. I'm not just like, man, it was in my mind. It was like bigger than what I even imagined. Yeah. The industry to be like. I'm like, wow, this thing is actually moving faster than possible than I thought. Then I spoke to a friend of mine. He had a label in Port Harcourt, Latte. I think we were chatting on Facebook when I went back to America, and he was now telling me that entertainment industry is growing and blah blah and this and that, and the doors might soon close.
Oh wow! Why? What was,
his idea was like it was going to get to a point where if you are not in and you are not established yourself, you wouldn't. It would be a struggle for you to break in. It has happened. That same phenomenon is talking about has happened, but it didn't happen till maybe 2-3 years ago.
I see.
Yeah, where like it's almost like if you had not established your name or brand or footing in the industry by this time, breaking in would be a very, very difficult thing.
Like the talent knows who the names, like who the real, for lack of a better term, kingmakers are, and they're like, okay, I know this guy can really groom me and turn me into something. Okay, and this is like, if you're a new guy with just being a new guy with money is not good enough. You actually have to have like a resume.
Not good enough.
I see.
Resume and everything. So I think that was that's what was referring to. So I took that, and again, a lot of people say, I looked at it and I said, you know what, I'm here. Either I go to a master's or I go back to Nigeria. And in my mind, I was like, I'd rather go back to Nigeria and maybe spend 5 years. I told myself I was going to be in Nigeria for 5 years and build a foundation for myself. Then I can come back out here and do my master's or whatever, and then come back to Nigeria. I was going to go to law school and study entertainment, sports and entertainment law. That was the plan. But that was going to be 3 years. It was going to be 3 years in law school and a 1 year LLM. So that's 4 years. I'm like, you know what? Instead of me spending that 4 years, 5 years, let me go do that. Let me go back to Nigeria, put things in place, understand the system, kind of get myself ingrained there. Because one thing I noticed when I went back in 2008 December was that I had not experienced Nigeria as an adult. Like I didn't.
That makes sense.
Like my years in Nigeria were just being from secondary school in a house, friends' houses, friends' parties, and whatnot. I've not really been an adult in that country. Yeah. Like I didn't have a bank account. I'd not done anything. Like whatever. So I was like, let me go there. Let me actually understand this place called Nigeria as a grown man, not as a kid and everything. So I went back, moved back in like August of 2009, and the first year or two, about the first year, I just took time to just kind of. It took me like everything in Nigeria takes forever before you register your company, before you open a bank account, before you do. So it's just that process of doing that, and luckily for me, I got to in that year, I got to experience the different places in Nigeria. Because I first moved back, I moved to Abuja, and a lot of my friends moved back and moved to Abuja because Abuja was a lot of guys that went to secondary school with their choice of where they were doing NYSC was Abuja.
Mm-hmm.
So I moved back. I moved to Abuja. I was working with my dad, and then just trying to set things up for myself and just kind of understand what was going on and everything. So Abuja in 2009, then about early 2000, we then spent about a month, from 2009 to like middle of 2010. We were in Abuja. Then we then spent a month in Lagos, like summer of 2010. So I got to be in Lagos, see all the places. Beat FM had launched by then. Just seeing what was going on, more entertainment things. One of my friends, who I was one thought I was he was in Muna. She was a beauty queen, but now she was a rapper. Just seeing what was going on and everything. Then moved back to Port Harcourt in September of 2010. Then by October of 2010, I figured things out. I'd actually registered a company, was doing business here and there. I'd made some money, and I was like, okay, I want to actually invest in and start up something for myself. Aside from working for my dad, and I was like, the only thing I know how to do well is this music thing.
Music, yeah.
So music. So October 2010, I decided after it was my birthday, I was like, you know what, I'm going to get back into the music business and all that. Funny enough, that same night, I was at Presidential Hotel in Port Harcourt. Somebody brought Brenner to me to introduce him to me as an artist because I had been talking about music and whatever. So one guy called J Biff, he was part of the IJGBs Entertainment, brought Brenner to me, but I was still I was not even paying attention to. They just brought the guy that had an accent, a British accent. I was like, who's this? I bet, move on.
That's kind of funny. You're like, man, I really want to go into this entertainment thing. I'm focused. And they bring you a guy like, not you. I'm focused.
So I was like, who's this guy? I bet, who's this guy? So I really wanted. So I'm like there, and so throughout that week, or the week that was preceding that, I was asking around. I'm looking for an artist. I'm looking for a producer. And this name kept on coming. I was like, oh, there's this guy that just came back. Check him out. He happened to be friends with one of my really close friends, Chubi. He was family friends with Chubi. So Chubi, I then spoke to Chubi, and Chubi was my business partner we were doing like logistics contracts for Total. So Chubi was my partner on that. So I was talking to him, and he was like, this guy just came back. Go and check him out. I didn't call. I was like, wait, I've heard that name. I didn't call the JB's guy that brought him. I was like, yo, who's that guy that you came with? I was like, oh, this guy, check him out, or whatever. But then he then sent me his number. I give him a call, and he's like, oh, I've been waiting for you. I'm waiting for your call. I'm like, okay. I shit you not.
I was like, that's like, major confidence. Like, bro, what's up? You took too long.
Yeah, I'm waiting for a call. Like, oh, okay, cool. Where can we meet up? So he told me where he was going to be, and it was going to be at the Joe Boy studio. I drove down there, met him, played music for me, played the song for me. I asked him, oh, did you do this? Because he told me he came out from London. Did you do this in London? He said, no. One producer in Port Harcourt, what's his name? He said, Lyric. I was like, oh, I've heard that name before. Again, he just played music. I was like, all right, cool. I'm sold. What's next? He was like, oh, his mom is his manager. That I'll have to go and see him. Let's go and see his mom. So me and him we actually left the studio that night and drove to GRA to try and see his mom, but she was sleeping. And on the car ride, I think that's one thing I would never ever forget. He said to me that, see, all I'm looking for is somebody he said my head tends to get all over the place and scattered, and I just look for somebody that can make sure my head remains on my shoulder. And I'm like, if that's it, no problem. I got you.
I got you.
I know what else. I get. So it was like cool. I couldn't see his mom that day, but it took a couple of days. We met his mom. We talked and everything. Couple months and everything. Then from that October till around November, December, we were done. His first song came out December 2007.
Yo, that's like you guys are working. You're like, this is my vision. I want to go here. Boom, 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 and it just that's cool, man.
I think that at that point in time, like throughout my from 2009 to 2010, I was still always like looking out for artists and talking to artists and everything.
Yeah,
I met some guys in Abuja when I was there. It just never really worked out. I met some other guys in Port Harcourt. There was a guy called Teddy Ralix and whatever. It was like a singing R&B type guy. One thing or the other just never really worked out. So I'd been like talking to artists. I was still very, because it was just something I was passionate about. So I was still in the studio. That's how I met the IJGBs guy. Just music.
Were you in the studio lurking? I say lurking. Were you looking for someone to sign in the studio, or were you just wanted to be around the creative process, or were you?
I wanted to be around the creative process. I wanted to see what was going on. I wanted to understand this thing. I liked the Drop Boys, their music. It was cool. Like, I knew people that knew them. They had some cool songs. They had some with Timaya at that time too.
They're not the ones that take one beer from my head. Are those guys? Take one beer from my head now. Take one beer from
No. That's the IBs.
Oh yes, okay. Isn't that Joe Boys?
So, no, they're not. They're not Joe Boys.
Okay.
I don't know what is the IB stands. I'm not sure what that even stands for right now. But I just been around the scene, meeting people, just the same way I was when I was in America, just meeting people, talking to people, asking people questions, learning how to just understanding how things worked and everything. But I never wanted to, at that point in time, get into the industry because my mind was, first of all, just dealing with Nigeria and settling in Nigeria and figuring out how I was going to make money and just dealing with all those things. I think at some points I wanted to go back to America, so it wasn't.
Oh yeah, what was it? What was the moment that made you feel like, man, I'm done with this? I think I'm ready to just go back. Was it a particular issue? Was it like a collective of like a build-up of different issues that are like, man, I can't take this anymore? It was a build-up of different issues, but it was also, I think one of the things was I lived a very independent life when I was in America. I wasn't really dependent on my folks for anything or for support and all that. And coming back and living in Nigeria, where everything seems like if you don't have that cushion or that support, you can't do anything. It's like you literally look around and saying like, well, it's great to have that advantage, and I appreciate the advantage because some people don't have it. Some people don't have that support and everything. But for someone that, like, at one point in time, I just wanted to be my own man and do my own thing, and then you come back to a country where you can't get anything done. You need somebody to help you do this. You need somebody to help. You need to know somebody and whatever. It's not about proficiency. It's about who you know. It just becomes very, very like, what am I doing here? If I'm better, if I need. So to that point, let me ask you this: because I mean that's a really interesting point, right? It's kind of frustrating where you go from a place where everything really works, and at the end of the day, your personal hustle and energy and independence kind of can take you somewhere. You can move yourself, if you will. Like, you have the ability to move yourself. So in Nigeria, it's a little bit different. Now, would you say, for kind of like people who are thinking about this and listening, would you say that having support, like let's say it's family support and whatever it is that you can lean on. Is it a good thing to have that, or is it typically like a bad thing, which it kind of holds you back and you're almost like at the mercy of those people or that support system?
I think a lot of people that have fallen, like have fallen to become like victims to that support system. If you're not an independent-minded person, you can just be comfortable. You can get comfortable because they're depending on where you're from or who or what kind of support system you have. You know, it can be like I think in Nigeria there's a very extended family type system.
Yeah.
Where this family or somebody there's always somebody looking out for you or somebody there that you can go to for help or whatever. And it's not a bad thing because it's a developing country and things don't really work. So you need the support, but you cannot let the support become your only like form of livelihood or base your life off that support. I've seen a lot of people that base their lives off of, okay, this is what my family has. So this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
What I'm just going to manage this and whatever. They're not trying to add or do their own thing or even just think outside the box.
Yeah.
It's just like, if there's a reason why my family is doing this, I'm just going to do this.
Yeah.
I'm not going to stress myself to do anything else because it will be stressful for you to try to do something else in Nigeria. Guaranteed. You know, if people, it's like going outside to say, oh, okay, I want to do X, and your family cannot support you in doing that X. They don't know anybody in that. Okay, you want to go and be a banker. Your parents don't have any connections in the bank. They don't know anybody in the bank, and you want to just go there and just hustle your way and feel like you're going to climb up the ladder. You know, it will be quite frustrating for you to do that without those calls or those, oh, help my friend, help my son, help my brother type situations. So it's that kind of thing where I want to start a business. Okay, you can't, and I don't know. I don't blame the parents that they found what worked for them. So if you go and tell them, oh, I want to start a business, I want to open a music, whatever, it sounds foreign to them.
Yeah.
They don't know anything about that and everything. So if they're not supportive of it, I don't take it as a thing as they don't want to support you. I think that they don't understand.
Yeah, they don't know.
They don't know.
Yeah.
You know, and they don't have anybody that can even call that, oh, this one, if your uncle is a musician, you know, go and meet him. He will help you out with this, and he'll help you out with that, and he'll help you out with this, or whatever. So and that's the kind of society, like, funny enough, I've now become that uncle that anybody that is in the music business, in the family, they will say, oh, go and meet Priye.
Yeah.
He's doing this, he can help you, and whatever. You get calls from uncles and aunties and cousins that I sing in school, I have a really good voice.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh yeah, that's nice, that's great.
I really like what you said there, right? Because it's almost like, I think sometimes it's easy, or what we typically say is that I guess you kind of almost blame your parents, or almost say like, I guess the typical thing, they just don't understand, but from a negative perspective. But it really is that, and it's not necessarily a negative thing. They don't understand, they don't know any better, they haven't seen it before. All they can speak to is their own truth and what they've seen work and their own path to success. So that's what they can guide you on. But then, like, to your point, the minute they actually see a success story in that other field, they're quick to respect that and refer other people to that. Like, okay, yeah, if you're now looking at that path and say, like, okay, let's say for example, your parents have built an empire or whatever business of engineering. They're like, okay, engineering, I got this. Entertainment, go meet Priye.
Engineering will be your only. They will like, look, you can't do anything if you're not an engineer. This country is not for you.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing. I think my mom, bless her heart, was really, really supportive and tried to support, even though I knew she didn't understand what I was doing. So anywhere she felt that she could support, she could help, she tried to help. But I could tell that she didn't know, but she didn't want to tell me not to do it,
Yeah.
or she didn't want to tell me not to try. So she would just be saying things like, "So you're going to go do your master's, Abi?" Like,
this is just temporary, right?
yeah,
You're just messing around,
yeah,
right?
you're just messing around. I think if you're working with your dad and you're doing this on the side, it's just like a hobby.
Yeah.
It's not anything bad or anything, yeah. But so I know you're okay. Maybe in like after you say you want to go back and do masters, no problem. So like that and whatever. I think it did, even while the thing was working in Port Harcourt and Burner was becoming really popular in Port Harcourt, it didn't really phase them because to them, I think at one point in time that I had a conversation with her and she was talking about there's a musician that when during their birthday party, there are musicians that they would invite these bands and everything, and they'll pay them 50K, 80K. So she didn't really see what the value of an artist was, because from her own perspective, the people that come and sing at the parties and whatever were just they'll just give them change, like hey, take go and nice song and whatever, and they would dance. Hired help and whatever. It wasn't anything special or whatever. Then she saw, I think one time she saw Burner on AIT. And she was like, I know this is creative. This guy's on TV. Like, what's going on here? Then I think the turning point was when he got his Glow ambassadorship and she saw the recharge card with his face on it. And she's like, okay, this is something here and whatever. So and just saying that, okay, it's gone from being in one of our BQ to he's on a Glow recharge card, or he's on national TV in the night when they're showing news and whatever. It was like, okay, this must be something serious or whatever. And then me being able to wake up and just say, you know what, I'm moving to Lagos to go and do this thing full time, and like, okay, you don't need anything from us. I'm like, no, I'm good. That's when they realize that, okay, there's actually something else. There's more to it than appearance, than the birthday singers and the church singers and the choirs.
Then you officially became the entertainment uncle. Is there anybody who was going to
uncle at that point? Anybody that want anything that had to do with music, that had to do with sound and speakers, even if I didn't know, they would ask me, "Come, is this speakers? Want to buy speakers? Are they great?" I'm like, yeah. That's sure. You can take my advice for it. Those speakers are really good.
Hey, Priye said so. Priye said those speakers are good, and hey, he knows what he's talking about. That's his industry.
He's a music guy.
I mean, that's cool stuff, man. I mean, I think if anything, I guess the little tidbits of knowledge there about moving back is, if I'm going to sum it up, one, don't use what you see in December as a reference point as to to what Nigeria is like and what life will be like if you move back. So that's one thing. I guess the second thing is I guess it's kind of like almost like a crossroads thing. You can either choose, if you're moving back, you can either choose to follow the path your parents have laid before you, but if you're going to follow your own path with passion, your own passion path or path of passion or whatever you want to call it, be prepared for a really a frustrating journey. But at the end of the day, if you actually achieve it, it's not as if, I like what we talked about parents not necessarily seeing them as the bad guys, just that they just don't understand. They've never really been there before and they don't get it.
I try to I tell my younger brothers that a lot that trying to speak to my dad or my mom about something, like, you need to understand that sometimes like a 40-year gap and whatnot. I think I'd once told my dad that, look, you won't understand that because right now you're still trying to figure out how to use a laptop, and I can get emails on my phone, on my watch, not on my phone. So there's a technologically, society has changed, technology has improved, and I'm sure when them and their parents, there was a difference. Like they scream engineering, but engineering as a field to me would be will probably be obsolete in the next 20, 30 years.
Makes sense.
With automation,
Yes.
AI, and all those other things that are coming up, like the actual engineering. Like one time, when I even moved back, a cousin of mine, when I was in Abuja, sat down and asked me. I was telling him about entertainment, and it was like, why not just do the oil and gas? That's where the money is and everything. I was like, it's funny the thing about oil and gas is that oil as a resource is not infinite.
Yeah.
It would dry up, it would change, or they would find some other resource that can use to do all these things. Now, the entertainment since, let's say, the 1800s has always existed.
Yep.
Humans will always have the urge to read, to relax, to drink, to dance. What only changes is the form of delivery of your entertainment. So before we would sit down in a village square and watch people wrestle, then you move into you're watching them wrestle from your house. Yeah. Soon you're sitting down and now on your phone. Yeah. In my phone, you might make it that in your head you can press play and watch or listen to something. So that's the thing about the entertainment industry. It's never going to, the concept of maybe music, of movies, of books, and all those things, they're never going to actually lose their value, because human beings as we are, we have that need for entertainment. So that's like an industry that is going to last beyond my time, beyond anybody's time. So like music from Michael Jackson that was being played on vinyl players are now on iTunes. From the 70s, Earth, Wind and Fire, you can find everything now digitalized and online. So it's just the form of delivery that's going to change. It's never going to go away. It's never going to stop being in demand. Ratchet TV, whatever you want to call it, drama, disc, Twitter, social media, it's come to a point where they're like, you know what, you guys like to be entertained so much, you all entertain yourself. Yeah. Take Instagram, do whatever you want to. You go and entertain everybody, So it's that's my thing, and I was like, I'd rather pitch my tent there and build something and build a legacy there than say, you know what, I want to go and do oil and gas, where I even felt like in Nigeria there's nothing new to do. There's no groundbreaking thing you can do in oil and gas. Everything is, all the oil companies, all the investment is there. It's just maybe bad policies and bad governments that just don't let that industry flourish the way it should flourish. But entertainment for me, globally, locally, down to the smallest community in River State, people there are always looking for something, looking for a way to be entertained. Yep. Either it's by going to go and gist with somebody, or going to a bar. Yeah. Going to bar, just one thing or the other. They are always, that need is there. Or going to burial sometimes. Strangely in Nigeria.
That turns out to be entertainment too.
That turns out to be entertainment, like the burials and the wakekeeping and the parties after. And I'm like, oh wow, yes. Okay.
Nah, I mean that's actually true. I mean it's kind of weird. Well, at least one of the weirdest things I've seen in a burial is people fighting over souvenirs, and like, you guys, somebody died, right? You know why we're here. I don't know why is this trade the most important thing in your life, and the food. I don't get it. But this has been interesting. I guess if we're going to like tie everything up in a bow, because it seems as if, well, I guess things seem to be like your life were kind of coinciding with Arsenal's timeline. Until, of course, we got to Arsenal's rocky patch. You had your little rocky patch and self-discovery then, or rediscovery. And then we got things back on track in, like, I guess 2010, and onwards. But then Arsenal is still yet to figure it out. So here we are, 2018. Arsenal is even further away from their dominance, where they used to be before. Back then it was really just Man U versus Arsenal. Then Arsenal kind of fell off from being like, going between first and second to then like, okay, top four. And now it's basically you guys are now turning out to be like a sure bet for Europa, right? I mean, this season Europa, almost set in next season Europa. how I like we said at the very beginning, I know like you're no longer really following Arsenal as closely as you used to. How does that feel? And is it that do you have enough going on in your life, or what are you doing right now that allows you to kind of like just drown out that Arsenal suffering noise?
So my thing with Arsenal is that like I said, like what I said, like over time the the idea of maybe football and clubs and whatever will change or the delay, but you need to be able to adapt with time. You need to be able to change. You need to be able to modernize. You need to be able to, philosophy-wise, style-wise, and whatever. You're in a league where it's very physical, and you want to play very stylish. You're going to have problems with that. You can have a bit of the style and whatever, but you need to understand that you're in a very, very physical league. I think someone like what's his name, was Guardiola last season, had to kind of figure out a way to bring his style and whatever to whatever is going on in the Premier League today. Unfortunately, I blame Arsenal's demise on one person alone, Wenger. So
Hashtag Wenger
I
out.
feel that Wenger out. That's my own thing. With him buying up Aubameyang and him, so I still follow like and watch and everything. But when I've noticed that the problem is not the players, it's the philosophy of the coach and the style of the coach and what the coach, the mentality that he has. And I feel like the game has gone beyond that. It's just like Phil Jackson going to New York and trying to do triangle offense and building a team for triangle offense when people have moved to like just shooting from everybody just trying to get a solid front line, and you're still trying to do triangle offense and move the ball and whatever. It's still great. It's still great basketball. It'll still work and whatever. But the game has evolved past that, and you need to be able to know that as a coach, as a business person, as whatever it is they're doing. That look, even in the music business, I was telling my younger brother, look, it's a young man's game.
Yeah.
The younger, because the people that consume the music more and are so fanatic about the music are probably between the ages of like 15 to 25. And once you get past that, once you lose touch with that demographic, you won't know what's hot. You won't know how to feed them what's hot. You won't know how to appease that market. So I think Wenger has lost it and there needs to be some kind of rejuvenation of, they need to put a younger person that understands what's going on in soccer today and how the game is played, whether in England, maybe he started my work in Europe, in Spain, but in the Premiership, I think it's a bit outdated what he does, or his style and his mentality. So I don't really follow Arsenal. I've not really stopped following Arsenal. I just refuse to be. I was watching a video by Thierry Henry today where he was like, "You are ashamed to say when they have a good match. You are ashamed to come out and say, yeah, look at Arsenal, because you don't know next week they might not most likely be able to do that again. Consistency is a problem. So it's like I can't. I think this is the first season I've not bought a jersey for the past maybe 7-8 years, and I'm like, man, I'm not going to be. It's just very blatant that this club, even down to the owners, keeping Wenger, they are making money. They are taking advantage of the fact they're in London, charging the highest tickets. They're not making moves to contend. They just try to give us these little glimmers of hope. Okay, we signed Aubameyang, and we signed what's the other guy from Man U? We brought them in, and Mkhitaryan. Arsenal fans get excited. They sell Aubameyang jerseys. They buy season tickets. They do all this, and then you come back and you know that It's not the same thing and all that. So what I've been doing, I've always been more of a basketball person than a soccer person.
Oh, really?
Yeah, from again when we used to play basketball. We had a secondary school team in FGC where we'd play like UDSS and we would play at Shell Camp and whatnot. We play at this little. We play UDSS, we play ISS, we play Beraton and whatever. So we would just arrange games between our colleagues or our friends in the other schools that play basketball. So we've always been basketball people. I was a long time Laker fan because of Kobe. I was also a Houston fan like that at one point. But then I was very young. I didn't really know that much about basketball. I was like maybe 12 or 19. It was 94, so like 10 actually. So, but that was because everybody was making a big fuss about Hakeem Olajuwon in Nigeria at that time. So I think it was like the biggest thing also in basketball then. So and that's where Houston was. That's where my Houston was a team. Then Lakers because of Kobe. So I've kind of mostly followed players. But I think this season and last season, when did Chris Paul move to Houston?
I believe that was last season. Yeah,
last season, because I actually thought that in my dream world, Chris Paul would have come to Lakers.
Oh yeah. So you like Chris Paul as a player?
He was coming. I like Chris Paul as a player. He was coming to the Lakers, and I thought that that would be the extension of my Laker hood.
Yeah.
And then they shipped him off to Clippers, and I hated the Clippers, and I hated that move. So when he moved over to Houston, I was like, nice move. So right now the team I'm following is Houston. So more of basketball for me than anything, and they're doing pretty well. I still feel like they need one more like all-star piece to be able to compete against Golden State in the playoffs, not in the regular season, because the regular season their record is better than Golden State. They won, I think, out of 2 out of 3 games they beat Golden State, but I feel like playoffs are going to be a different beast entirely, and you just need that X factor. But maybe somebody will show up maybe Ariza will step up since they kind of pitch him as a number 3 guy. Maybe he will actually step up there, but we'll see.
Yeah, man. I actually have a lot to say on that because you know me, I'm into basketball as well. I actually hope Houston gets together, but we'll save that. Maybe we'll have you back on another episode and we'll talk basketball. But this has been good stuff, man. Really good stuff here. Good to hear your journey. How you've evolved and how like the birth of Aristokrat, the hibernation of Aristokrat after I guess kids, if you will, young people will be young people, and they're like, yeah, this was just for fun. This wasn't really. I'm not really about this life, you know. And actually, how it kind of shows like the difference between, you know, like how we were talking about the beginning, in the beginning, like yeah, we all loved entertainment and music as kids, but there's really a difference between those that just love it and those that are really passionate about it. And the key is really kind of like following through on that passion, and I guess kind of putting your money where your mouth is, like, because when you listen to all of the adversity and stuff and challenges that you went through, you still kind of stuck with it, even though you had like an easier path to doing something else. You were still like, man, I want to follow this music thing because that's my passion. So that's
So I was like, I was very, very in 2007 when everybody quit on me. I was really, really like, and that was like that had not been my lowest point in the music business per se, because I wasn't really, we're not even doing business at that point. It was just a bunch of friends making music and whatever. And but at that point, the fact that I came back to do it in like maybe it was 3 years later or whatnot, I don't think if I didn't come back at that time, I don't think I'd ever come back again. I don't think I'd ever done it. I think that was that 2009, 2010, that moment where I was like, when I was like, okay, I want to do something, and I was like, okay, I'm going back to the music. If I decided to do something a different thing at that time, my story would have been totally different. So that, and again, it's, I don't know why I decided that, to be honest. Nothing. There was nothing. Just out of pure passion and belief that this was what I was good at.
Yeah.
Like if anybody asked me like what I can do in my sleep, what I know how to do was like music. That's it. I know what I need. I know how to set it up. I need a producer. I need an artist. I need a studio. This. We're going to do this. We're going to promote like this. We're going to do all that. Printed out posters, all those things. I had that in my head because I'd done it in America at a low level. We used to drive to. We went to the Nigerian reunion in 2007. That was one of the last things we did together as a group. And there were 2 reunions that day. There was one in Atlanta and one in Houston. We went to both of them to go promote our music. And we actually got nominated for the first NEA award.
Oh, yeah?
Nigerian Award. Yeah. As best, one of the best songs in diaspora or whatnot. And that's when, after that, they then quit. After that.
Wow, really?
Yeah, they felt it was. I don't even. They felt it was becoming too serious.
Oh,
we're all going into our. I think we're all going into our final year.
Yeah.
So it was after that whole. That was late 2007. Going, I think after the reunion in July and everything. And so everyone was going into their final year, and everyone was just like, that guy.
That's interesting, man. That's interesting. Like, it's almost like they saw the promised land and like, nah, I think this is getting too deep.
Yeah, they had gone back to Nigeria the Christmas before. That Christmas and performed at one charity organization, Pink Pearl or something.
Yeah.
So it was going all good. So that was a crushing moment for me. That's like everybody just saying, nah, I'm not doing this again. And I was like, I remember having a really, really long argument with Taiwo, trying to explain to him why it was important, what we're trying to do. And they were just like, man, guy, it's not that deep. Well,
I didn't sign up for this. I didn't sign up for it being my 9 to 5.
The beauty of it was like, I can, as I said, that's what to give you that superhero complex. Yeah. When you've gone through all this, and then you make it, and you have things like your parents that thought you were playing, your friends that thought you were joking around, and all that. And you now prove that this is it. This is what's going on. This is what's happening. This is actually real, and not crazy. So
nah, man. Hey, congratulations to you, man. It's not beans at all, man. It's an amazing story to hear. Before we get out of here, let me ask you one last question. So obviously, it's kind of like been a theme about music, and we all know the story about the discovery of Burna and the exceptional star he's become. I'm curious to know if you kind of like share 2 things with us. One, tell us one song or artist other than Burna Boy that you knew, like when you heard, you're like, yep, this is going to be a hit, this is a good idea, let's run with this, when everybody else was like, nah. And also give us, on the opposite side, give us one where you were like, yep, this is going to be a hit, let's do this, and then you ended up being wrong.
Song that, okay, if there are songs, I can call a couple songs, but I don't want to call it Burna song. So the most recent one was one they called Iskaba, that I can remember.
Now that was a jam.
We're putting out 2 singles. I actually loved Iskaba personally, but sometimes they think my taste is too bougie. So and what was hard at that moment was the Mr. Easy Azonto Ghana Bound sound. So there were 2 songs, Ballers and Iskaba. I was like Iskaba. Everybody else on the team was like, most people on the team were like Ballers. Ballers. I was like, Ballers is cool, but for me, as just playing music, Iskaba was it for me. And then it came out, and being one of the biggest records that I think I've been involved in. So
Boom.
that's one of the
And you were like,
time.
what
I was like, hey man,
I told you.
superhero complex.
Yeah,
kind
yeah. Okay. Superhero complex on ecstasy right there, man.
So
Like,
that happens there.
yeah.
So
what about the opposite?
songs that there was this Danny Crane. Again, that's another artist that we're involved in. So a lot of people know us or know me for the work I do with Aristokrat and the artists I've worked on Aristokrat, but I've been involved in other artists on other projects. Two Faces Ascension album. I don't know what album, whether it's 8th or 7th. I don't know which album that was. That actually made it to like Billboard, world music charts, whatever. So I was part of that project. I was also part of Danny Crane's project. And there was this song called Sabi Dance. I believe that was a goal. I believe it was going to be that was the start of us kind of coming to the Danny Crane project.
Yeah.
And I went to Clarence Peters to get this thing for the video. Clarence sold me this idea for this huge video dance. It's going to be this, and Danny Crane is a wonderful performer and whatnot. And I felt like, okay, off the song and the strength of the video, if Clarence does what he says, it was going to go. And Clarence asked for $4 million, which is approximately like $12,000 right now. And I signed off on it because I actually believed that
this was a hit.
It was going to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. First of all, Clarence didn't deliver the video the way it was supposed to be. There were no 100 extras and him dancing with all these people and whatever and whatnot. It was a good video, but it wasn't $4 million awards or whatever. So I had to first hide my face in shame for that. Then, on top of that, the song didn't just pick up.
Yeah.
So that was one.
I think I'm going to look out for that song. Actually, I actually never heard that song.
You should. Yeah, that's how bad it is. It's not a bad song. But I felt like all the things were Danny and his dancing and I think I believed in it, the way they sold it to me, the way even Danny, because like when you hear the music and you see the artist, there's some songs that you know that okay, this is the right artist to kind of carry the song, and it has everything, and it's fan base, and it was doing the dances and all those things. I was like, man. And even when I went to the video shoot and Danny was performing, Danny was dancing and doing whatever, the energy level was insane, and it was like, I'm like, man, this guy is killing it and whatever. This is not what he told me it's going to be, but Danny's killing it. So there's still hope. People are going to see it, people are going to watch it, and they're going to just love it, they're going to love the energy and all that. And just, it never happened. It just didn't translate.
I love it.
One, I don't know if there are any more. There are a couple songs that I would say that I thought they were going to go, didn't go.
Yeah.
Not really songs, but artists.
Yeah.
You know, but the thing I've learned about the whole artist thing and like picking artists or signing artists is that superstars come once in a blue moon.
Yeah.
Not every artist is going to be a superstar. Some people are career artists are going to build their fan base and have that whatethere's only one Michael Jackson, and there are a lot of the Jacksons when it comes to artists.
Yep. Talented, but they don't have that X factor like Michael Jackson had.
Not the X factor and everything. So, and usually what even happens with like a lot of major labels and what happens is that you can sign 10 artists this year and you can put out all 10. The beauty of it is that when that superstar, if that superstar is in that 10, when he crosses over and he pops you will pay the money you would make off that superstar will cover your losses on all the other 9.
Wow. That's crazy. Just one guy.
Yeah, just one guy, because the kind of it goes. We can go deeper and deeper into it, but it covers all 9, and the remaining 9 you would find some that you would say, okay, they need maybe a couple more years of work. This one needs whatever, and you'll find the ones that you know what you're like. I just let this person go. This is not going to work. So
Yeah.
it happens like, and you have to go through that cycle as a record label, and you find those ones like.
It's almost like chasing a high. It's almost like, man, you have that first high, and you're like, oh man, I know what that's like. That's amazing. I need to get back there again. And you'll be looking for that.
There again. And you'll be looking for that, and you have to go through those, and you just have to go through that again and again. So just imagine every year, or you have 10, one superstar, maybe 2 or 3 mid-level guys that with some work they can get to a star level.
Yeah.
Not superstar, but they'll get to star level. You make some money. So you say, okay, I'll keep these mid-level guys and keep pushing them. Then the remaining 7, trash, you dump them. You then add a new 7 to that your team, and then hope that out of that 7, there's one superstar there. If not, same circle. So that's why you see the labels will sign artists. After a while, they'll drop them. They'll sign artists after a while.
Yeah, cut your losses and keep on moving.
Cut your losses and keep on moving. Not like Sony Music, they are comfortable in signing new artists and pushing them out because they already have the Michael Jackson capital.
Yeah.
That'll keep on paying for everybody that they're signing. They would have one white country artist that's paying for everything they're signing. So they can invest more in new artists and in finding that rough diamond as the next superstar. For an upcoming label like us, and Nigerian labels, it's very, very difficult to do that. For you to just keep on, because the music doesn't pay that much. So it's like, but you have to keep going.
Yeah.
You can't stop, because you never know when you're going to run into the next superstar or when that person is going to cross your path.
Yeah.
You know, the guy that we signed right now, the recent artist, what's his name, Caesar.
Yeah.
Someone sent me a message saying that, I know this. When we're promoting this video, someone sent me a message saying, I know this guy. He used to talk about being signed to you or wanting to be signed to you. He's like, his dream finally came true. I never knew that he wanted to be signed to us.
Wow.
Like, I didn't even know.
Hey, that's like that Burner story, man. Burner's like, I've been waiting for this call. It's almost like... this was like on Instagram. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
I just acted like, oh, okay, cool, that's good. Like, yeah, he's doing fine and whatever and whatnot. But he never, when we met him and when we were trying to sign him, he didn't come to us like, oh yeah, I've been waiting all my life for you guys. But he told that guy that if there's a label that he wanted to sign, that he would sign with,
it's Aristokrat.
it would be us.
Hey,
so
man, that's
at that point when
you good.
Yeah, when I heard that, I was like, okay, then there's the right fit, because we just liked him. We liked his music. We saw what he could do.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this is a great guy. And I didn't even know that he had even known anything about us to that time. So that's why I say you just can't. Sometimes you got to keep going, and you never know when you find the next guy, and that next guy might be the next one.
Hey man, we're watching him. I mean, I agree. Caesar is an amazing talent, and I guess if there's anything to go off as reference, it's the confidence in which he said, "Yep, it's go time." I've been waiting for you guys for a minute. That's probably using Burner as reference. That might be a sign of something good. But hey, thanks for sharing. That was freaking amazing. It's good to actually hear this.
Thank
your
you for
journey
having
and
me
everything.
again.
Hey man, we'll keep on having you hopefully in the future.
Yeah, I said Nubian, I'm coming.
All right, folks, that's our show. Thanks, Peedi, for taking part and sharing your journey with us. And everyone listening, have a great week and stay fanatics.
Have a great week.